Good evening, Ashley, and welcome to your business building reading, right? So, I'm going to hop right into it. The first thing we're going to look into are the personified characteristics. This is my archetype deck, by the way, of your business persona. And then I'm going to get into any blocks that you may have to building this business. And then I'm going to get into the chart so we can actually see what's going on there with a couple asteroids and your Venus and just all that good stuff so you can get a good idea or a outside of your self perspective on your gifts, your talents, what your original goals were, what hurdles were put into place to keep the momentum going. And when I started this, I usually start with a frequency that is connected to the reading in some way, shape, or form. I was drawn to Venus rising. Now, like I said, I entered the info for your chart, but I haven't looked into it yet to see where that Venus rising info is from, but it's already sort of letting me know that you'll be doing something within your feminine energy, within your flow energy more than your masculine. And sometimes it's not like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Get comfortable. So, what attributes of self will Ashley be logging into for her most prosperous business timeline? Ooh. Off top, anytime I see this, I'm like, ooh, that's big business. Like, God, like, wow, like. But it is your piece of source, your connection to your light body. Benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others, is what the card says, right? The next one and the next one, which are, I would say, self explanatory because they kind of go together, the mentor and the alchemist. So, what I'm doing, right, is like transformational mentorship and coaching, right? That with this last hero card is sort of the energy that you're giving to. You are going to be helping other people through their stuff, and this could be psychologist, this could be tutor, teacher. Teacher just did something for me when I said that. And this alchemist is helping other people take what they have and turn it into something else. So you teaching other people to find the light body within themselves when possibly all they see is the darkness. It's kind of the energy coming off of here. That's why this hero comes into play, because other people are going to look up to you because of what you impart on them. You give them hope within themselves. So maybe that's why I paused at the beginning of this when I was explaining what I was getting into, and I said, I'm giving you a perspective outside of yourself, outside of your own estimation of you, because sometimes you're aware of your talents and so on and so forth, but there are some blind spots purposely there, I think, so that we take our time and interact with other people. That's probably the case. But there are blind spots that you require other people to point out in you. So you have aha moments like, I never looked at me like that. But it's very empowering. And maybe through this session and seeing what I do here, you will connect more with the understanding of what your purpose is, doing something similar, very similar I'm feeling here. So let's get into it. What are the blockages that you currently have to this business? What are the blockages that Ashley has to this, her highest timeline business? What are the blockages she has to this at this time? Dang, sis. Like, I made that face because I felt like your energy for that moment. You probably really, really felt that. So, it seems like it's not exactly people pleaser energy I'm picking up on, but when you love somebody, you love somebody. And when you care for someone and you want them taken care of, it sort of blurs the line on your boundaries because you want to help so much. That's why this first addiction came up. So, in order for you to be able to do a job that requires you to hold somebody's hand through difficulties and like talk them through their own stuff, you are absolutely going to have to come up with boundaries. And the card says, the situation that you're in is being influenced by an addictive behavior that is influencing you or the person involved. Pain and trauma are being projected. Try to see the truth of the situation by stepping outside of the chaos to create an opening for forgiveness, patience, and compassion. That lets me know that you're your first client. Whatever that you have been through, whatever difficulty, that is going to be the basis for the business, like your why, your reason why you're doing this, why you find joy in helping other people out of their darkness. Maybe you dealt with a parent, a friend, a lover. A lover feels like it could be, right? Somebody who actually had some sort of addiction or depression or something that required you to actually already get pre-training in feeding people light would be the way to say this, I guess. Trying to pull somebody out of a dark space, but the difference is in this job, you need that boundary that doesn't let you get pulled into their darkness too. So that's something that is still a block and something you're fighting with, knowing when to let go or when to put up a boundary so that you're not completely sucked dry when you're helping somebody else. Outside of that, it looks like you were really around a lot of people who had no estimation of who you were either. It's possible that there weren't people around that could help you build your self-esteem or didn't know what area to build your self-esteem in. Say, for instance, you were somebody who was meant to be a writer or something. If you came from a family of warehouse workers or like shoe makers or something, I just thought about Coco, they would never understand you going to be a writer. They'd be like, that's not possible. You can't be no writer, girl. You better get in there and learn how to make them shoes. That's what I'm feeling off of this. Somebody told you that your dream was impossible, very likely when you were a child, or that where you're coming from, what you wanted to do was like not realistic. So I'm going to read this to you. The first one is false narrative, discernment, which means somebody threw off your intuition and your compass in regards to you finding out what you wanted to do or fully being able to go through it with confidence in yourself. So be mindful of the story you're telling yourself. Having a negative narrative is destructive and simply not true. Stop listening to your ego-based story that is laced with falsehoods and old conditioning. For every negative thing you say, counteract that by saying 3 positive words. See the truth of who you are, which is wise, magnificent, and radiant. So you absolutely are your first coach, like your first coaching client. You have to push yourself through all the things that are blocking you from getting to your money, baby. So distorted view is the second one. That goes along with that false narrative thing. If you grow up around a bunch of people with their glass half full and you're the only full cup and you keep refilling everybody else's, you never get a chance to come around anybody else whose glass is full too to pour back into you. That's why this is significant for you. So a change in perspective is needed to view you or the situation with compassion. The root core of pain is often associated with how you may view yourself or the situation from a wounded place. Choosing to heal this brings this broken pieces. I'm messing this all up because I'm channeling at the same time that I'm reading. I swear I'm not slow. Okay, so hold on. The root core of pain is often associated with how you may view yourself or the situation from a wounded place. Choosing to heal this brings the broken pieces back together to create a healthy viewpoint. Balance needed in relationships. You have been around vampires, sweetie. People who could not possibly reciprocate that beautiful God energy that I picked up in that first thing. Do not let where you have been and who you've been around stop you from where you can go. Your clients aren't even people you know. They're not even in the same town is what I'm getting, right? But you're about to step into that energy because it's time to evolve. Your karmic loops are over. And I'm hearing like you did your time. You did the time that you needed in order for you to be strong enough for the job and the situations that are going to come up. Do you think anybody wants to take any counseling or mentorship for somebody who's never been through anything? No, because you can't relate. You're not even a vibrational match for what they've been through. Or if you are someone, and I don't want to say suffer from low self-esteem, but that could very well be it. Somebody who suffered from setbacks that were not their own, but from a lack of a support system. Imagine how much stronger you are going to be a support system for somebody who is a client or somebody who is a fan even, that needs that energy back. They have to mirror something in you for you to be able to lock in with them. So, with this being said, it is chart time. So, unconscious of self. Your self note is where you are starting in this lifetime, like the beginning point based upon where you ended at the end of the last life. The 5th degree is a Leo degree. This is all about your unique self, your inner child, your creativity, the thing that makes your authenticity stand out to other people, right? Also your source energy, because it's the heart. You have it in the 12th house with the energy of like the secret twin. So there's a whole nother part of you haven't been sharing with people because you grew up in a place that wasn't ready for you to be seen. That is absolutely it. Like, you are the new matriarch for your family too. That's important. Like you are starting a branch that will be the whole new tree. That, and you, oh, Venus rising. You saw I just got paused. I was like, hold on. So your Venus is at the 29th degree, right? You see that. You also have this Midas, your ability to turn things to gold, at the 29th degree. The big turning point in here, which is called Phallus, by the way, is recognizing your abundance. That is right next to your Venus. Your sun is at the same sign as your abundance. You are your wealth. You are your gold. And ironically enough, all that is hidden in your 5th house. That place that was blocked for some karmic reason. What was the karmic reason? Let me see. It feels like you would want to know. Like, hey, what did I do so I couldn't see my greatness in this life? You have Uranus and Neptune in the 8th house. Those are generational planets. You have them at a Virgo degree in the sign of Capricorn. You took this L, because it is an L. There's so much good energy here, girl. Like, I hope you ain't been broke a day in your life. That was not necessary. Except for the fact that you kind of signed up for it so that you could be better at your job. That I can say because your Saturn, which is the contract you took for this life, is in the 10th house, your career house, which rules that 8th house. Any suffering or trauma that you went through, particularly in relation to your father's side of the family, was so that you could prepare for this job or this transformation that you're going to make amongst other people, which can be seen through your Pluto at the 23rd degree in the 6th house. That Pluto is the transformation that you were meant to make. This means you're going to work hard every day, but in a beautiful way, in a way that you're like burning away all the stuff that like held you back before. And it's going to happen like once you get your flow, you're going to surprise yourself. You're going to make quantum leaps. Your talent is next to your Chiron. So it's in the sign of Virgo also. So what you have to do to heal yourself is the talent that is your supreme power. The 2nd degree is known as the supreme power degree, right? I don't know if you watched American Horror Story Coven. If you're into this stuff, I feel like everybody who was into the occult or esoteric stuff should watch American Horror Story Coven. It's like badge of honor, right? The supreme is the strongest feminine energy in a family line. When you have this, that's another sign that you are the matriarch for what's coming up. There is something about your spouse and the partnership that you will have in the family that you will create in the future that is sort of given to you as a reward for what you contribute outwardly in your career. And it's very possible that this career is online or helping a particular group of people. But because it's Capricorn in the 8th, that energy I was feeling of that mentorship, that psychologist, that counselor, it could very well be that. But just know you are low-key a detective and a philosopher. You're going to be a lot of people's silver lining. You are coming out of your headspace and all the stuff you keep there into this place where you can't shut up. It's sort of what's going on here because you came to be of service. You came to find your family or your soul tribe. And it's actually going to be like in a foreign land or somewhere outside of where you grew up. Absolutely. There's nothing really for you around the people that you grew up with. That's why there's nothing in your 3rd house except for the Midas. And the Midas is you have taken the highest octave of all the feminine energy in your family so that you can start your line. You will be burning away the negative patterns of those that came before you. And you will see the results through your children. So you have high priestess gifts, by the way. That's where your abundance comes from. You knowing things that other people don't know you know, and you being able to pick up on other people's feelings. There's something that you can do with this creatively. Would you write children's books by any chance? And I'm only saying that because your Mercury is in the 5th house. That's usually like a children's book writer or somebody who's really good at speaking with children. You can even be a children's counselor. But it's next to your Jupiter, your wisdom gained through experience. Everything that you have already gone through before now has prepared you for your upcoming career. for what you're supposed to be building. Your enterprise, like the whole gamut of what your work is based on your mind and your thoughts and what you see needs to be fixed. So if you recognize there are like high rates of promiscuity amongst children, you're immediately going to start thinking about how sexual abuse changes children individually. Some are hypersexual, some are prude, if you will, if you can call it with that, right? But that could be something you would write about, like a blog, because it looks like you're kind of a writer. I don't know how you would feel being out in front of people, but you are being asked to share your creativity. And that Gemini rising at the 13th degree, that's you, the self, the wordsmith. And that's the first time I had to use wordsmith, right? The writer, the thinker, the speaker, the person who uses their words to, in this case, inspire other people. The thoughts that you have when you're alone are actually things that other people need to hear. Like, you are the gold in everything you experienced. And I know I'm laughing because you hearing that everything you experience with your family is actually going to be the stuff that you write about that inspires you. Like, every day there's going to be a new, I don't want to say trigger, but a new thing that comes up and a new thought that you need to write out of your system. It's like the feelings that you had of unworthiness and not thinking what you wanted to be was possible are going to come up every step of this way with you building your business and communication in some way, shape, or form. So as they come up, you're going to like dissect them like Carrie. Like, what was this feeling I was having? I remember one time when I was 4 or something like that. But through doing this, you are going to help other people reflect on what happened to them in their childhood and how they can take all that heaviness and turn it into something that helps other people find their light too. You are inspiring to other people to do what you're doing, to come out of their shell. And you are working to your way towards the past life family that you already have. I keep feeling the need to tell you that that's the reward, that you get a family and you get to start your own branch. Something completely like different from the ones you came from. I'm about to look at your Venus chart. Because your banks, like your spiritual inheritance, which will be unlocked over the course of like the next 2 years, is still next to your Saturn. You agreed to share your unique genius in a way that it reaches other people, so much so that you become some sort of authority figure or respected or looked up to person, like that hero card, right? In your field. This could even be like if you worked at the YMCA and you worked with kids. It's just a particular group of people or a hive that you are helping. I said online because it made me think about blog with you being a writer, but it can be for a particular cause. It can be for like underfed children, abused people, just finding the group that you are magnetized towards. And that's the one you're going to work with. That's where you're going to use that Chiron, which is your power as the wounded healer. Every time you share what you have been through, and I know that sounds difficult. Every time you share what you have been through and how you flipped it, it transforms you and the person hearing it. It's the wound that you have a hard time healing that helps other people feel better. It's like the part of each other that makes us feel human. Like, what's an example? I know this is like a big one. Like if you met Beyonce, right? And y'all were talking and she's like, yeah, I used to get bullied when I was little. And you're like, hold on, you, Beyonce, you got bullied, but you're Beyonce. And she's like, yeah, no, I never had friends. Suddenly that humanizes her to you and it makes you feel like, well, shit, if they bully Beyonce, these people don't know anything. That is the energy you're going to be giving people. Are you pretty too? Useful, witty? There's something about your personality that makes other people feel like, there's no way she went through that. Oh my gosh, she's so nice. She's so sweet. She's so bubbly. She looks so young. She doesn't look stressed at all. I would definitely look like leather if I had been through what she's been through. Like that's the energy I'm getting off of that. So I got to do my drum roll because that makes me really happy. So your Venus persona in your natal chart. Every planet has a storyline. You can see these storylines through your persona chart. We are looking at your Venus persona, which is the storyline for how you got your worth, your wealth magnet, and the best way to use that. So, not to dismay you, but that Chiron in Virgo is in the 10th house again. You are without a doubt a healer who touches other people in a way that helps them find their joy. And you do that through finding your gold amongst the people. So, this is the energy of you might be nervous to step out there. Your legs might be shaking like Bambi, right? But the more you step out there and the more people mirror back to you the goodness that you were doing for them, the more confident you'll get with it. You will find yourself through helping each other, through pushing yourself to find your value, because your Venus persona has your rising and Scorpio rising at the degree of self. This is Phoenix energy. I think that's why I was feeling that you are your first client, you are your first practice person, because you're going to be using yourself as the demo to share information with people. And the way that your Venus is best seen, through you sharing your words. If you were an artist, it would be through you sharing your art. But this has so much to do with what you say, what you think, the way that you take dark things and you find the silver lining. This is a final exam, by the way. Anything at the 29th degree means you have done this many, many times, and this is the lifetime that you came to master it. Your talent is limitless. Like the potential of your talent. It's just hidden from you this whole time. It's like, if other people in your family had known how much you would grow to be worth, they would have clung onto you when they weren't meant to go where you were going. What did your family do to you, girl? It keeps popping up everywhere. So much so that it's like when you Phoenix, you're meant to burn away the whole line. Like you might not even talk to some people from your family line because of what happened. And once again, it's still showing up. Like it's sort of some daddy stuff going on here. And on your mom's side, it's like the energy of, I don't want to say martyrdom, victimhood, definitely an imbalance in the feminine and masculine dynamic, which is why you are Venus rising and stepping back into the strength and femininity. This is dark feminine energy in this Venus. This is femme fatale, but femme fatale in a way of empowering others unapologetically. Like if somebody comes to you and they went through something, you can understand, you can sympathize, but you can say, baby, get up. You went through that, but guess what? You already went through it. It's not going to happen again. So let's take the remnants of what you are and make something with that instead of harboring on what happened before. That sort of empowerment is what you're going to be putting on people. You're not going to let anybody beat themselves up or keep themselves down. Just because like it feels like there's a part of you that after you get through this, you're never wanting to feel weak again, or that anybody else is taking your power or in a position to make you feel powerless or less than. So when you see that habit or that behavior in somebody else, you're going to be like, we're not speaking that over ourselves. And this could even be in what you write. You could be a traveling writer. You are definitely going to be traveling, by the way. That keeps coming up. Like half of this is Sagittarius. So part of it's Phoenixing, and then after Phoenixing is going place to place and being like a guru, being somebody who shares their wisdom, shares their prophetic thoughts, like waves that you see coming in for the future based upon current trends. And in this chart, your Saturn is at the 9th degree, which is working for the father, by the way. You could even be inspired by things you see in the news to write posts or something. You ever see those blog sites that get a lot of traffic, but they get paid by like sponsorships and brand deals and stuff because so many people come to look at their content? If you decide you want to do individual sessions or any counseling or anything like that, it's completely up to you. But I'm seeing all your money is in using that supreme power and that wisdom that you are just now sort of digging out to share this information with other people. What did you do to make your life better? You might even start doing this like as you're going through the process, like, hey, blog or chapter number 1, I'm really doing this. So I'm going to go to your Mars persona chart now. That is where your personal power lies. And I feel like you really need to understand what your strength is. At the ability to heal, because that is your talent. Ain't that crazy? And I'm saying that because you're a Virgo rising in your Mars persona chart and your talent is right on the ascendant. So you don't know that in past lives you have already been a healer for mental health stuff. It's like you wiped that because you wanted to show that you were so good at doing it that you could come back and do it again. Like, I know this, got it. But you decided to do it for a whole line of people through also providing a healthy partnership. So when you get a spouse, you're going to be the girlfriend that everybody else goes to because they know that you do a good job with relationships. And my mind just got this flash of Janet Jackson and Why Did I Get Married? And that's crazy because her situation was crazy. But inevitably, she was a professor that taught other people about how to express themselves in connections and difficulties. It was just her role in her job, not the rest of the storyline. That was a mess. That was some Tyler Perry mess. Gotta make sure my incense doesn't set the house on fire because it'd be like totally tragic if I had like a Michael Jackson moment while I was doing this video, right? So your personal power lies in wisdom. I was getting the message a little while ago, but I didn't want to place it in here before it was time. That if you feel uncomfortable with any of this, Udemy, which is a place full of classes, right? An online catalog, if you will, has the option to have access to thousands of their classes for $14.99 a month. If you feel there is a skill that you do not have that would fill in the gap to make you feel more confident in something that your soul already knows how to do, all you need to do is refresh it. Take a couple courses on there. I would say take a creative writing course first and foremost. Confidence. Learning how to feel strong in your words. You might even want to take a business course on how to make your writing pay for you. But baby girl, you are your gold, your experience, and you finding a way to turn that into a profitable funnel is going to be the joy of it. You might even go from writing online or publishing what you're writing to eventually writing like actual books, novels, ebooks, or stuff that people can purchase. But your words are healing to other people. And don't worry about what your content is. It's already been written inside of you. You're just going to be the funnel for it. Allow yourself to be led. Don't let the blocks of other people's voices get in your head. As soon as you start hearing those, write them out. Write what is blocking you. And then break down how much that is a lie. That is going to be the basis of the program that you are beginning. How I stopped lying to myself because other people lied to me. You are going to be discovering yourself, your hidden twin, the person that you held back all this time. And you are going to be pleasantly surprised and emotional to find out that you're sort of low-key a genius. You're ahead of the curve. And your gifts allow you to work with AI. 27 on the clock. Like, you will find your clients because your energy is going to go through the algorithm. That's a whole different reading. That's spiritual gifts. But in this one, your business is set up based on your mind and your powers as the high priestess. To just know what to write, to know what to say, to see when someone's been hurt, and to know what they need to heal. That is the foundation of what is going to lead you to your abundance and the basis for your business. Thank you, ma'am.